Like he would really shut down his emotions until he drank. And then when he drank, like tears, anger, aggression, a lot of that would come out, right? And I had to have that, and it's really popular one. This is popular in my culture, but also too, like it's really popular in Mexico as well or common, I should say, for that to happen, right? And we know that happens because there's a suppression of emotions coming up. And so when alcohol is in the mix, our inhibitions are a little bit lower, right? And it gives us almost like a neurological pathway for things to come out, right? Because the inhibitions are a little bit lower. And we can't suppress it when our inhibitions are lower, right? And so I had to have a conversation with him and say, "Hey, I noticed that the drinking was a big problem, right?" And so I had to say, "Hey, like I noticed that like when you drink, there's aggression or there's a big wave of emotions that comes up." And by the way, the aggression was not towards me. It was more anger towards his family and things that they've put him through and all those things, right? And so I had to explain to him, "Hey, I don't think that it's necessarily really healthy that these things are only coming out when you're drinking. And then when I try to have a conversation with you about it when you're sober, you act like it didn't happen." Okay, that's a very true story. I had an ex, it was more so on the weekends where he would get slothed. And like all these emotions would come up, like anger, sadness. There's so many times where he would just be like really drunk and just crying in my lap and really sad. It was honestly really sad. And then the next day he would wake up and pretend like it didn't happen. And when I would try to have the conversation with him about these things and express to him, "Hey, I'm here, let's talk about it right now," there was a lot of resistance, right? And again, this was really common in their culture, right? Is to suppress your emotions. You have to be masculine. Men don't cry. All of those things, right? And we know that men are also human beings, right? That have emotions. And that is a beautiful thing about them.